There it is. Now I see it.
You do
Now
see
it's all
it.
working well.
Okay. Shit, I don't. Now something's up with me. I'm not seeing.
It'll be fine.
Okay, as long as it's fine on with what they can see. I can't see. It gave me some weird. I didn't get the YouTube thing. Well, that's all right. Shit, as long as they can see it. I can't see the little chat thing. Why is
Uh,
all this all of
I
a sudden
wrote
a thing? It's just weird.
here. Pull up the link I just sent you, and you'll be able to see chat.
Okay.
Or actually, here you can do this one.
You give me a different one?
Yeah. If you click that one, you should be able to see it on the right side.
Okay, hang on. So much technology to deal with. Yeah, now that's what I'm usually see. Okay, all right, here we go again. Hi again, George here. Okay, guys, sorry about that. Something got tweaked with YouTube. We can't figure out what it is. We'll get it sorted. All right, here we go. So, all right, so let's get a few more. We'll get started. Gee, sorry for being late, guys. Um, all right. When working for a Fortune 500, no one you write the wrong things in the weird times. So fake name. Okay. All right, John Howard. I'm just gonna call you Jay. John Howard now. All right. CN Salazar. How's it going, man? Taylor B. All right. All right, guys. Let's get 4 or 5 more if we can, and we'll get rolling. All right. Well, let's get 3, 4 more if we can. Getting there. Yeah, we're kind of late, so maybe I should just get started. First up, I've got a Bitcoin count from George. Let me get over to that. I got a comment from Erixis saying, why no ABC? Okay. All right, let me get rid of the freaking disclaimer here. Now that we got that. Okay, here's what I got. So, George, first off, right, I love the effort. That, I mean, he's working on his skill set. All right, it shows every chart he posts here week after week, it gets a little tighter, a little better. Now this has gotten a little. I mean, so I like that you're flexing your Elliott knowledge here because this is creative to come up with this. This is such a clusterfuck. Nobody knows what this is, right? So we need a little more. I mean, what can you say that we're doing here? It's kind of a basing box. It's kind of what coffee in, right? So here's your automatic rally, selling climate. I mean, you've got, okay, this was threatening the break here. Little wedge, right, gets ripped down. I don't know. I don't know that really, other than for your own exercise, this is going to be so prone to changing. I think the best thing to do here, let me get rid of that moving average, is just simplify it. So I'm kind of just seeing this channel here, right? It's hard not to see that, right? Now here's the break. Well, it would be more typical for the market, depending on if this is the low here. If we're going to see, I have this little alert set here. So if we're going to go down and then to come back, it kind of implies one more push to go after these lows. The count that you posted here, again, it's you see the Elliott here is not great, right? So you look here and you go, okay, is that really an ABC? Now it may be that ultimately the count kind of forces that labeling, but that sure doesn't look like a corrective move to me. Could you wedge it in there? Yeah, you probably could wedge it in there. Oh fuck! Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. but then you're doing this, right? Is that really enough of a C wave here to really call that? Would you have a lot of conviction in that? I wouldn't. No, I took it. You sent me a 1 hour. I went to a 2 just to get a little more perspective on it. Well, the one thing that is very common here is that even if you just drew this as a trend line, the break here. This is when retail will typically sell it, right? So you can almost anticipate, if anything, the retrace here, just to fuck with the latecomers here who are the breakout. Well, I shouldn't say it that way. With the less experienced trader who's just taking the straight break, because most commonly that's going to get a retest just to fuck with retail, right? So they're going to get worried here and go, oh, I guess we're going up, right? And then. Right, it kind of suggests that there would be one more test down to come towards these lows. It seems a struggle to try and turn this into some sort of a motive wave. Although I know we've got a count coming up from James M. That's a really, good look at how you might be able to get this into some sort of a motive wave. Right, it's a pretty ugly diag, but you're going to have to compromise either way. Either you compromise within the internal swing structure, or you're going to compromise on whether or not you have do we have a leading diag here? Well, it's a tricky count. So I think we just need a little bit more information. So right now, as this sits here, the next thing I would be looking for is the retrace here. So if this starts to come back and we get into the pocket here, that would be a very low risk way to go after something like that. Well, get off of there. Let's see here. We got order blocks. Let's turn this on here. I think we do. So we've got one right there. So if we come back into this range here, you can see all the potential supply zones that are sitting here. This would be interesting to me for a possible short. Right now, remember, of course, we always want to try and sell as close to where we're wrong as we can. Well, the golden zone is sitting on top of that supply zone. So pretty low risk entry there for those of you that are comfy with the short side. I mean, you could, if you wanted to give it max room, depending on how big a bite you wanted to take there, well, you're going to get 7-1 there, just using the next order block, right? Because we won't be the only people that will see those. So using the 786, if you wanted to be a little more risk averse, I mean, you could do it that way. Now you're looking at 23-1. So do we not have, would we, right? We don't, no, we're not there yet. Would we not have a golden corner? Yeah, we would. I think the more troubling is if this is all corrective, how do we fit that into the larger degree? Which is what I was wrestling with on Friday. And I'm very curious to see what James is posting today, because we'll get there in a second. Let's finish up here. If we're going to go 1 into an A, oh fuck, how are you doing that A? Okay, so you're going to do a flat into the A, then you're going to do. Fuck, I guess we're doing a flat into the B. Now that's a clean. So the ABC here looks pretty solid. So that I can live with that one. Right? When I say that, I just mean, okay, that seems rational. And again, same kind of thing. It's a box here, right? We're pushing the low end, but we're going sideways until we get here. And this is what's so very common, right? So you would see the push up here. Oh, breakout. Now we're right back in. We're testing all of this. Now we go again. So if this is a 2, if you're going for this as the 2 per where's that count going? If that's a 1, I'm not seeing the rest of your count here. Let me get that so I can see it. Where's your 2? Okay, so you're going to go 1. Okay, I'm going to assume that was like a backup count. That's an alternate. Because if we're going to try and get this into a motive, you'd be putting the 1 up here, right, as we start the correction. So my guess, George, is this you were working on a secondary count. Maybe you have it over here. Shit, I should probably check. Oh shit, I get a little lost in here. Okay, Okay, I'm gonna leave that aside because I'm guessing that that's what you were doing there. That you were kind of playing with an alternate here because what you're posting here is that this is corrective. Well, this is the I think the issue all Elliottians are having here. If this is corrective and we're going down, well, you're right. I mean, for the count that we come here. Oh fuck, what do I have here? If we look here, okay, this will work out, right? I was just showing this on Friday. Now, I know we don't have full history here, but what we're focused on over here. So how do we, if this is not our low, and I'm not saying it's not, but hard not to see this, right? It's hard not to have that kind of looming in your face. And if this is a 5, then okay, we got potentially bigger problems. So one thought here, so the least popular count that I put up, right? I mean, I get a lot of blowback from Elliottians on this, is that there's no possible fucking way that's a 4. Well, okay, as soon as can you guys see that? If I bring that over at Motivwave? I guess you don't. Because it's window.
No, I don't
you
think
don't.
so.
You want. I was thinking even with the delay, right? I guess because it's so you're only going to see it there. Okay.
We could set it up, but we'd have to do it later.
Yeah, we can do it. I mean, until we overlap that 1, I keep that 4 as a third alternate. I mean, the other question is did we just put in a 1 here? Well, if we put in a 1 here, which I like that count, I think that's James' primary, and we'll get there in a second. If this is the 1, right? And per the oh shit! I mean, you guys have seen it so many times, right? I'm sure you know. If this is 3, 4, 5. Right, if that's what we got, including all the data that I don't have here on Bybit, well then how are we dealing with this? Right. Well, it's great if we've just got an ABC. Fuck, lovely. Okay, still right. That's the 1. Okay, but let's just assume this is a 1. This is a 2. Well, if we roll over here, what do we? Right, got to have a backup plan for that, which I'm sure James will have. But we can't just go, God, it's definitely not going to roll over. Definitely not. As soon as you start thinking it's definitely not, it most likely will. So that was kind of the whole impetus behind my analysis of those counts on Friday was, well, we got to be prepared for that. Right? Now we could come down here. We could come down here and we could double bottom, right? That's not out of the, maybe we get something sideways here and we get something along those lines here and we put in a double down here. All right, that's going to make it all the more difficult to try and get an Elliott read on this because now you're still stuck with, oh God, is this A? Well, if that's A, we're right. Bitcoin's in trouble, right? If this is A and we're going to do this, well, that's ugly, right? So. Of course, the market can do whatever the hell it wants, but this is just the wave relationships of this look so good. It's hard not to consider that as a viable alternative. So let me come back to what you had here, George. So if this is, I got to go back out here to see it. So I got to see your full count. Okay, so if we're coming, what have you got up here? So what are you calling this? Interesting. Okay, I got to go to an 8 to see it. Okay, all right, this is interesting. Okay, so we're gonna go. Yeah, you're on the ABC WX. We're gonna go A B. Well, so the net result is that this has to be the low, right? Now you've got a candidate here for the 4, right, as I do, right? So 3, 4, still valid, right, until we oh fuck, where is it? Until we take out this pivot, all right? Now, of course, take it out, put it in arithmetic, right? That it looks ridiculous. Put it in log scale, which is where you really have to look at it. It's hard not to see this as still a viable candidate, but a very unpopular count. So let's consider if this is the 3, or pardon me. All right, well, we could do it that way. If this is, pardon me, that's what I'm trying to do. It's 3, 4, and this is the 5, right? It's kind of back where I was. If this is A, B, C, and we're putting in the 2, well, if you're a bull, that's what you'd be hoping. What's the alternate here? If we roll over one more time, that's kind of what I'm trying to get you to think about. If we roll over one more time, right? That's got to influence the count above, right? If it's not A, B, C, and we're done. Right. What's your alternate? Which is, I guess, what I'd be looking for here. So let me wrap this up, and I'll move over to James. But again, George, this is really creative, but I think it almost feels like you're just trying too hard. I don't even think there's a count here that is worth labeling just yet until we get some idea of, are we getting out of this zone? Because this is such a clusterfuck, right? All you're doing is kind of, well, could be that, could be this. I think it just needs more information before we have any conviction as to what the Elliott count is. Now, of course, just because you don't have a clear Elliott count doesn't mean it's not tradable, right? I mean, we're sitting in a demand zone. Right. If we rally up to this golden zone here, you're coming into a supply zone. I mean, that's a very low risk trade to take right there, right? With good, I mean, would you not have 80% probability here? Yeah, you would. Why? What would be the thinking as to why not to take that trade? Right. You're assuming the 80% is not going to play there. You're assuming the algo is going to break. Does this really look like it's complete? Does that look like it's done? Not really, does it? Kind of looks like you need one more down here to finish a 5, because if it was a 3, boys, that's a rough start. And let's say it was a 3. Okay, so if this is, so you'd have to be thinking that this was some sort of ugly, bastardized diag that came up here that didn't really qualify for a purist, right? Purist's going to have a hard time calling that a diag. So then what have I got down here? This is a free fall, right? It's just that's impulsive. Okay, so now you're thinking A, B, C, that maybe it's going to hold down here, right? Nothing says we could hold right here at the algo target, right? Well, we get a perfect median line. Well, then you got to be thinking, okay, if this is a motive wave, we need an A, B, C, right? Okay, why not that, right? So does that mean, so if you didn't get second target here, are you pissed off about a 14-1? Maybe less. Put it right there. What'd you get there? Okay, 13-1. Are you disappointed? Maybe not. Very creative, George. I just think when you have to work that hard for it, I'll wait, right? And just work off of the other stuff.
Okay. He did say this was his second one, and his primary is the second link that he posted.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, let me see that. You know what? His first link didn't work. Let me try that again. Fuck, where is it? Hang on. No, shit, I lost him. Where is he? The first one, there it is. This one didn't, when I went to do it, it didn't come up. Yeah, shit. So let me see if I can get your, something fucked up with that one. Let me copy this, see if I can make it fly this way. By splitting it. Maybe your other one will show up. I'm guessing not. Okay, I'll have to circle back to that. Something went wrong in that link, George, of the first one that you posted, right? The one that came through was the second one, I think. Okay, so let me move on. Well, here, let's finish up on Bitcoin, because I'll bring. This is James M, and I know he's got an account that he likes here.
Try it now. He had sharing off.
Oh, okay. Hang on.
Make sure you save it, George.
Okay.
If you save it after you turn it on, it should be fine.
Okay, so let me try again with George here. Hang on. So I'm looking for the second one, the first one. Copy link.
It'll be the second one, I guess, the ZUYS.
Oh, shit. This is top left. Hang on, copy. Save. Top left. Is this what he wants, 15-minute? George, is that what you're looking for, the 15-minute? Top left, that's what you say in the count? Bitcoin 1212 top left. So I'm thinking that's what you want. Okay, so Jesus, bumpy start here. Okay, now this looks interesting. Are expanding diagonals unicorns? Well, they're unicorn adjacent. I mean, you see them certainly, but they're not terribly common. More common to see a kind of a wedge, right, a contracting diag. How to trade this? Validation lines. Hide folders on small time frames to unclutter chart. I don't see any reason to unclutter here. Okay, so if this is the 3 and this is an A, B, that's actually kind of like this count much better. but it puts us back into the problem of, okay, if this is the 4, what? Right. So it kind of is suggesting that we're going to take out these lows. Let's go out. We're going to take out this low, but we may not go too far, which is, I think, what bulls would be hoping for here. So let's look at the count from the top here. Well, this is good, right? I have the same thing. So we're going to 1, 2. I think you're stuck with that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have the exact same thing. So this is a much more common, really you could just think of it as a wedge, right? It's a contracting diag, right? You get to that point and it's very common to see a reaction come out of that. So, let's get this out of here. Okay, so if we're putting in a 3, well then what you've done here is you've simplified it. Okay, right? There's the simplification of it. Okay, it's a 3. And I get something that resembles an impulse. Now, again, here we have Bitcoin being difficult again. Is that 1, 2, 3, 4, right? I mean, let's break that down. Let's go to a 30-minute. Did you get Golden's on here? I'm not sure you did. I think it broke. Well, you got wick only. All right, so technically you're okay there with that. I just would start be looking for anything that would help me here. Zero in on that. I think I like the idea of the buy down here for this to complete, but I'm not. Well, let's measure it. Where does it have to go? I don't think you've already done this, right? So 5 has to be longer than 3. So here's your validation line. Oh, well, you already had it. Oh, good man. All right, so he needed to do that. Okay, so here's the validation line. We'd be coming into something like that. Now, do you want to buy it right there? Let's push you off. I'd consider it. I don't know that I'd be sitting there with a limit order, but I'd look for the first retrace if I could get into that, try and get out of that. I like this count much better. The other one, I think it was just trying too hard. This is suspect, right? We'll have to wait and see if we're going to really do something that crazy, right? We're going to come down like that and we're going to finish it. Of course, you'd be looking for the expanding diag at the beginning, not the end of something. So I think this just, again, same kind of thing, right? You can't have any conviction in it. Like, could be. I don't know that I'd be trading that. Interesting, right? We've got the wick going through here on Bitstamp, but on the other one, what was the other one you gave me? Oh fuck, now I'm not gonna be able to find it. I don't think we were there yet. So yeah, my thought is it's just it's just not good enough. Right? Why put money at risk? Because you might get a winner. Yeah, I don't trade that way, right? I got to really like it, and this is just a confusing clusterfuck of chop, as far as I'm concerned. So why put money at risk? I'd be shocked if somebody who was looking couldn't find something better in all of crypto, right? Take your top 5 majors. I'm going to guess you could find a better looking chart, right? And of course, we all love to trade Bitcoin, but it's got to look better than that for me. But your work is solid, right? Two creative approaches to it. Very, very well done. All right, let me get see where James M is over here. Did I get that one? Is this James? Yeah, that's got to be James here. So copy, save. All right, we'll finish the Bitcoin on top, ETH on bottom. Okay, so this is definitely James. Patterns is all patterns. Okay, if it's a ZZ, we're fucked. Yeah. Okay, so let me do them one at a time. Oh shit, how do I do that? I guess I do it this way. Okay, so let's get that out of here. Okay, so we are in log. Yeah, that's right. That's what I was saying on Friday, right? So it's not that he's not aware of the same potential. Okay, WXY. Oh, that's pretty sexy. Look at it. We had done this a little bit differently, so you're going to get so A, B, C, D, E into that X, A, B, C into that Y. That's pretty nice work right there. This is much more common, a wedge, right? So we get a contracting diag. This is pretty solid count right here. So one, pulling back out to the larger time frame, okay, some of that crazy inner swing structure that's such a mess down at the lower time frame is just harder to make sense of. This, you start to see this pretty clearly. Okay, one into a flat. Do we have a flat there? Yeah, we do. Okay, so I got a flat, and then I got a leading diag, right? So this is the simplified version. Okay, what can I do to get rid of all that craziness? Can I simplify this? Well, so the first, as soon as you're thinking, oh shit, I got to simplify this, we'll pull back to a daily or a 12-hour and say, okay, does this clear up when I get a bigger picture view of it? Yeah, it does, right? I mean, this is, if the first thing you did was bring up the 12-hour, would you have done all the gyrations into a WXYX crazy? Probably not. Now, this, again, ideally you'd have an expanding, but this, all right, this plays, right? Now, but what are we doing here? Right? If this is going to be an A and we got to do a B, it's going to be tight here for that too, right? Now it can literally go one tick off of it. As long as we don't overlap, you got a good 2. But that's a little bit steeper than what you would have liked on the A, and it looks like it needs to roll over one more time to get it to be a 5. Let's go to a 4 here and see if I can dig in. So if 1, 2, 3, that sure looks 4-like. Right, we're going sideways. That's probably 1, 2. I got this freaking thing on here. All right, so that sure looks like, 1, 2. We're trying to get that to go. Let me get rid of that. And let's go micro. How about white? Sure looks like there's one more down there, doesn't it? And that's not doing anything crazy. There's no squeeze to get that to fit. It just looks like 1, 2. Okay, well well, let's when you're not sure, let's measure a little bit, right? Right to the 2618, right? I mean, it's pretty good rip for a third, right? If we're not going to pause at the 1618, 2618 next target. So a nice little 3 into the 4. Why would you think something other than, right? Given that, so could it be an ABC? Yeah, but that's not characteristic of a C to go that far relative to the A. Does it happen? Yeah, of course it happens, right? But we're playing probabilities and odds and pattern recognition. That's much more common to see, and I can see the subdivision in there into that as an impulse. 3 into that. Okay, where's the most common place for a 4 between the 23 and the 38? Okay, so why would you assume something else? So if we're going to come down and get that 5th, let's channel it. Good God, am I looking at a Bitcoin chart from James without a channel on it? How is that possible? Why would you not think that? Okay, so let's play that through. If that's an A, and we're going to come back here, let's just finish it. Oh fuck, come here. All right, I'm just a little projection here. I don't have it. Oh, where you go over here? Okay, so if this is an A coming up here, and I'm gonna look for that B to kick back here. Oh, you might look left and say, okay, well that looks like some prior support. Not a supply zone, but potentially some resistance up there, just some market resistance. If that's the B, well then I got to come down here and finish right here. Right now, would that work? Yeah, well, better not get above that. All right, so you're counting on it doing that, something along the. Of course, this could be, you don't know where that goes, but until we have it, and then you point down. So then you're thinking, here's invalidation, and then what if you get that invalidation, and this is a simpler view of it? What are you thinking now? Right. So now remember, contracting more typical to be ending something than starting something. It's just a wedge, right? So it's very, very common technical pattern, right? We contract here. Oh shit! You see the divergence, right? Or coming down here, we're getting weaker and weaker. The size of the swings is contracting, right? Momentum is fading, and then down we go, right? So, and then what comes out of it, at least at this point, appears to be impulsive. So ABC is going to be tight. I think there was a golden zone in here somewhere. Okay, it wasn't that one. There it is. All right, same thing. A little wick here. Got it. I think I think we had two of them. There's the second one, right? So we had back-to-back golden zones, right? A little shy of target. That's a little. You know, that's a little far for a front run. It could be, right? We don't know, right? Somebody dumped some size there. I think that's a better looking count right there. That because you can see the alternatives, right? So this is a simplified count, right? So it's either an ABC or we've gone 1 2 1 2. I think that's for a bull. You're kind of hoping for this, but I'm as bullish as anybody, right? Nobody wants to see it go more than I do, but calling this corrective, I think you're hitting the hopium pipe too hard there. Okay, right. It's good work, James. Right, as usual, right? I like it, but do you see what he did? He simplified it. He said, "Okay, this is just simply absolutely crazy. What's the most simplest? Pardon, that's not the way to say it. What's the simplest or the most simple count that I can come up with here?" Almost always, that'll be what'll end up. Okay. Did I get everything there? Oh, I got ETH on the bottom. Okay, so for ETH, open the side menu. Okay, so I got to do this, and I got to go side menu. So now I'm going to do this. Now I'm going to go side menu. For ETH, on the side, 2 groups. Okay, so I got 2 groups over here. Fuck, this is hard to do on the fly. Okay, so where are my groups? Is it here? No, those are 2 groups, but those look like they're already on. Oh, fuck me. All right, let me see if I can figure out here based on what he's got. Those are all showing, so it's got to be in here. Oh, fuck, James. I don't, let's see. Oh, here we go. Okay, so this is your alternate. Okay, I got it. Okay. All right, I'm just going to pop that up for a second so I can just focus on the count. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That looks okay. This is what I had, right? So, but we don't get a great finish here. 1, 2. All right, so here's the 3, 4. Yeah, it's not great looking impulse, is it? If it's the 4, 1, 2, yeah, you're a little fucked there, right? You can't quite get it to work. Just can we get an impulse or a impulse into the 1? We're gonna overlap here as a diag to. Well, let's see if we. Well, fuck, you're a little fucked there. All right, so just measuring. Could this be the 1? Could that be the 2? What am I on, a 4 hour? Let's go down to a 1. Well, okay, so already that sure looks like a 5, doesn't it? But you can probably work that 1. Oh, fuck. A, B, C. That's already a little bit of a stretch. That's a stretch, right? But Elliott's not perfect. Don't expect it to be. So if this is 1, 2, could I do 3, 4, 5? It looks like you could. 1, 2. All right, so now he's back to what I was just looking at with Bitcoin, saying, okay, sure looks like it needs 1 more down, right, to give me a C, to give me a 2. Let's take that up a degree. Let's go so I can see it. Let's go to yellow here. Okay, so what are we doing here? Okay, so this could be B, C. Okay, why not? Let's look at it. So you're going to put the 1 here. So we're going to go 1, 2, 1, A, B, C. Oh, that's creative. Okay, let's see. That could work. Well, I'm guessing what he's doing here is just what's the algo? The algo is not going to pay attention to an expanded. All right, so but we do. So if we're thinking that's 1 and this is an A, B, C coming in for the 2, definitely unusual. So do you see what he's doing with this? Because this is a question, do you have a motive wave here? And while you can probably squish one in there, he's just going with, what is that not really a 3? Right? And if that's a 3, how do we fit that in? So you got to work backwards. So if that's a 3, what is it attached to? What is it correcting? This impulse here is pretty solid, right? I think this. Oh shit! Come here. I think this is. I don't think this is in dispute that we've got an impulse there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pretty solid. So can we finish here, right? So this is what's creating this alternate. Could we not go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Can we do it? Well, you'd have to do it like this, and it's a bit of a force fit. 2, 3, 4, 5. Bit of a force fit. You have to do them all as ABC. So you can do the ABC here. That seems like a little bit of a. You know what that looks like? It looks like you got a flat here. It looks like you got to go. It looks like you got an A expanded B because this looks like a 5 there. So it looks like you might be able to do that as. Oh fuck! So we can go A, B, C into the 1, 2. Oh fuck! Doesn't get any better, right? Still an A, B, C. So all you'd be doing is putting the A here. B. All right, this is an interesting count. It's a good thought, James. Let's take that up a little bit. It's well, there is so of course the whole crypto world knows the merge is coming, right? So we know what's the date? I think it's mid-September. So likely a rally into it, and then it would be common to see a sell-off after the fact. There's just nothing here that's really screaming, okay, this is so good that I got to trade it. It's okay, might be. Well, let's get some geometry on this. Okay, so first thing, right, not hitting the median line off of the 1, 2. Okay, well then you got a question, is that the 2? Sure does look better there. Now we're framing it a little bit better there. So one possibility here is that we've got the 2 here, which we had looked. So you'd have a flat right here. So it's a contender. You got to get a little creative here on this, on how you're pulling this. You're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It kind of brings me back to where I just was. Right? Is it good enough to trade? I'd like a little more. It's just me, right? I would, okay, I see it, right, but give me a little more, because right now, so what would be the trade here? The only trade on the board here is to trade the 4 to the 5. Again, is that good enough? Well, that's not a bad looking impulse, right? So for someone who's comfortable with a scalp, 1, 2, 3, 4, looks like that's got one more down to finish that. Now we're going to double bottom here. Double bottom is not something to count on ever, right? Does it happen? Right, it happens regularly, but you don't want to count on it. Oh, I'm going to buy the. All right, stops down there. We know that, right? Every pivot, there'll be stops on every pivot, right? So you'd have to see it come down and reverse pretty quickly. But then think what you'd be saying here. Look at the length of the 3 relative to that looks to me much more likely to be the 1 of the 5. Well, here let's measure. Okay, so if this, God damn it, if this is the 1, and that's the 4. Okay, maybe, because we've got a shallow 2 and a shallow 4. Like that might be a little bit more what you'd hope to see. Then, right, you could play that as the 5. Now you're in log scale there. I don't know that you need log scale at that degree. So let's do that again. Right, the range is not so far. Come here. It doesn't change much, right? So now you'd be coming into the 50, the 50 and the 38 right here. So let's pull that all the way back out. Right, does that make sense? I keep coming back to, well, fuck, it could be. I don't know that I love it enough to want to trade it. So, okay, so we're going to go 1, 2, 1, A, B, C into the 2. It wouldn't be good enough for me, right? I wouldn't trade that unless I was looking for a scalp here on the short, right? And then that's a whole nother ball game to try and do something that small. Shit, I want to give you a trade here. I don't think it's there yet. I just don't see it yet. So I think this is a whole lot of on your watch list, right? There's nothing like got to pull the trigger right now here, but this is our job, right? To try and get a handle on, well, what the hell are we doing here? Right, so this would have to be, oh fuck. So the 4 would have to be, actually getting if we're doing it A, B, C, if we're doing it that way, this kind of goes off out of the chute, right? So you're doing 1, 2, fuck. Again, right? It's just not enough information, right? I got to get something else. This would be the trade that I'd be looking for right there, based on what we have here. I'd be looking for that, and I'd be looking for it in conjunction with something along these lines. Now, that's a function of how far does this go, right? If that's going to complete the 5, and we're going to go back here to test, oh shit, maybe you're coming back here to test something like this. If you come back into that range, I'd still be looking on the short side. Because this looks like this is, while it's ugly, this is what I see here. Swing, correct. Right, that's what the algorithm's going to see. Doesn't give a shit about any of that, right? Dominant low to dominant high. Come to the golden zone, we buy it. So I think these are all green bananas, right? Got to watch them. Got to look for the next. What's the next swing? How far down are we going? And then if we start to retrace, going into the fuck, what are we calling it? A merge, an upgrade, switching to proof of stake. Well, we're going to do that. Okay. Well, you're going to have to show me. You're going to have to show me a big higher low. I'm going to want to see that, and then you're going to want to see something come out of here that says, okay, right? We've done this. Was the end of the news. This is the reaction to the news, and that's again a little hopium. I don't think it's good enough, right? That's my view, right? So let me keep moving. I get stuck there. Okay, let me see what else we got here, guys. The work is very good, and particularly I like the way you simplified it, James. Okay, so let me get out of there. Okay, so I think we're all on hold on the majors. Oh, Frade is back with near. Okay, so let me get that one going. Near and dear to his heart, because I know he's posted this, so he must be one he likes. Okay, so now here you go. You got a complete trading plan here. Boy, I like this. This is some nice work right here. How nice, right? So if anyone who's on this, member or otherwise, or just a YouTube sub, boy, want a trading plan? There's one for you. Free of charge. Now, it's a little, you gave it to me in log, so we're going off of, I just read something about these guys that this is they could be high impact. So it looks like you've got a nice. Do we have to be in log? I think what's our range here? Yeah, we do. Okay. So big one, start contracting, right? That's more common than you think, right? Something like that. So there's okay. So again, I was just saying these are more common, right? The big juicy wedge, right? So into the contracting, right? Which is what right before they were, are classic technicians, not going to call it a contracting diag. He's going to call it a wedge, right? So that's some classical TA. So we come down into a 3 into an A, 3 into a B. That's good work here, right? So he knows we got far enough so we can plant the B there. So I got a good contender for a flat. So I've got a good looking A, B. Boy, you wanted it to be done there. But if we're going to roll over again, well, then does the subdivision support that? Okay, it looks like it does. But it does look like there's one more down. Okay, A, B, and nice subdivision right here. So here I'm put those in yellow so you can see them a little better. Okay, so we got a nice A, B, C here. All the subdivision is accounted for. Right, this is very nice work, Frade. Okay, so now I got a 1, 2. Oh, interesting. Okay, so we're going to go 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to give me the 3 down here. I'm just going to put that in white so you can see a little better. So there's the 3. Let's go up a degree. I just find they're easier to see. Okay, right. So I got a nice 3. Well, that looks like it's a median line hit right there. Oh, well, so we got it here. So here's your 80% back, and oh, we just missed, right? So looks like that you got a reasonable candidate here for that top to be in with the miss of the median line. So we'd be pulling, and he's probably got this somewhere. We're pulling from the 2 through the 4 right to the 38. Where's the most common, right? So we're right in an Elliott count here that looks like it's playing good Elliott ball. Okay, well this looks impulsive. So it's straight line. Well, probably not, right? So you'd be looking for some sort of little retrace, right? 3, 4, come down into the pocket here. So he's keying off of, what do we have here? So we've got a demand zone, right? So stacking technical components, what he's doing. So we'd be in the range here of 618, the length of time. Looks like that's from the entire swing low to swing high it is. Okay, so he's got 618, and this would be 100% in time. So in this window, now, we don't have to wait until we get right here to take the trade. If this comes down, we might push this over, right? If you're going to try and get that magic to happen there with the timing. Nice, right? So it's good use, right? So here's the last swing down before we go up. So creating the potential for this to be demand. You got a good looking. Oh, let's see. Guess we can't quite get that, but do you see what he set up here? Let me just make this brighter. So he's got everything working here. Let's go to just brighten it up so you can see it a little bit better. So what do we have right here? The potential, right? It's just that right now. Potential for a wicked golden corner. All right, so what do I got? Let's go back to the daily. Boy, the golden corner there. Okay, so anybody looking for an alt trade, this ought to be on your hit list. Now we're not here yet, but if we come into this range, so right now, if it's me, I'm alert. Oh shit, this won't be on my stuff, right? But I'm going to go back to this. I would set an alert right here. So if it comes down here, I do not want to forget about that. So if we come into that range, because when I get here, do I not have an 80% probability of getting to that median line? Of course I do. Right? Of course. All right. Now, the first assumption is that we hold here, right? Now, so as he's teeing it up here, so he's giving you, literally, you got a full trading plan here. You wait, get your first 5, take the retrace. Where's your stop, right? Low risk, 50. The first one, just in the median line, is 58 to 1. As I will often say to you guys, why would you not take that trade? You know, the only negative I see here is the swing structure is not ideal. You kind of wanted the 4 to come in over here. So I'm assuming you guys see what I mean here. So this is the, if I do this, right? So you can, does that have the right look? Kind of an idea, right? That's what you're after here. So that's the only negative. Oh, let's see if I can get you out of there. Can I get you out of there? Yeah, right. So the 2 to the 4, that's not what you'd hope to see, right? Now you got to be mindful of this could be worse than, because we don't overlap here. Although I'd want to check all the exchanges, because this actually has a better look to it, right? You know, that's deep for a 2, right? To go 1, 2, but now, are we going to do it as a 3 here, or are you going to have to? So you're going to have to. If you were thinking, oh shit, I think it's a 5. Well, now you're going to have to compromise on the first leg down, right? Is that a 1? Sure looks like a 3. So nothing perfect, but of the 2, if we roll over here, God, is there another way to count that? Because the 4 is just so fucking big. I don't know if there is. If nothing else, right? If you just saw this, right, and you took all of the Elliott labeling off of it, and you just had this, I think the trade's just as good, right here. Okay, right. So we know, right, whether we're looking at 1 minute or 1 month. That's the dominant algorithm in the market, right? Period. Period. End of discussion. That is the dominant, well, that we could ever know, right? That's it, right? That's it right there. So why you got a perfect golden corner here, even though, okay, the count's a little, all right, so it's not perfect. Boy, I'm sure going to take a long, hard look at that when we get there, assuming we do get there. I'd have, Elliott aside, I still have 80% probability of getting that median line. Again, caveat, as long as that pivot holds, right? As long as we don't do this, right? Well, then you'd redraw it and you'd just say, well, shit, it's not a golden, but I could get it at the 786, I get it lower. But the golden is what you want, right? So then, because you got an algo driving it, right? They're the buyers down here that gets it off out of the floor. Right now, do they keep buying along the way? Well, shit, they will if it breaks down in a series of measured moves. Absolutely, right? Oh, if this goes 618, oh, they'll buy again. Right? If we get something, you know, in here related to a pivot here, they'll buy again, right? So you want them with the machete clearing the path, right? We just want to trail behind them. What are they doing? What did they do last? So on the watch list, this is really nice setup here, so you can see all the potential here. I mean, you know, is this going to happen? Well, fuck, we don't know. But I'll tell you what, one trade like that will make your year. So I take you back to, why would you not take that? Why would you not take that setup with 80% probability at a golden zone? Now, I don't have it yet. I don't have it. But if it gets there, boy, you don't need to load the boat here, right? But as it starts to progress, boy, I'd take a bite here. Well, pardon me. Let's do it this way. I would take a bite here. Right now, you're in. Okay, right? Do we get through the initial launch without a break? Okay, if we do. Oh, okay. Right now, would you want to add here? Well, likely it's going to do it more like that. Right? We get up here. Okay, partial profit. What are you anticipating? Okay, well, you just made $2 to $19. Right? So you got your 56 to 1. What are you anticipating? Right? You're anticipating that. Okay, do I want to take the drawdown, or do I want to just get out here and wait for the reload? Well, what's the risk, right? That it just keeps going. Well, okay. I mean, it could do that. Is that what the market typically does? That we're just going to go? Probably not. Anything's possible. Back to the edge of the median line for a 2. Place to add. Or you take half off here, or whatever percentage you're comfortable with. Wait for the retrace because you got upper targets here. I think this is an individual choice, but if you were to get, let's just say you got that, you'd be anticipating the correction, right? So the question is, would you want to take the drawdown? You'd still be in profit. Are you comfortable with that give back here on the assumption that we're going to continue to go, right? Only you can decide that, right? Or do you just want to take it all off here, reload, and then look for the next level? Kind of personal choice. If you're long-term and you're looking at the daily and you got reasonable targets up here, and do you see what the larger count is right staring you in the face? Oh, come here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still, much like it leads off. The big extension is in the 1. Right, just like we did on a smaller degree, that wouldn't be uncommon, right? Just to do the same thing here. I mean, here's a contracting diag that's a one wave, right? It's not like it doesn't happen. That's good work, Fred. Nicely done. I hope that runs. I sure as hell am gonna get that alert. We should come back to this one. So next week, if we get a sell-off in crypto, let's not lose track of this one. Okay, so nice work, Fred. Let me go to your next one here. I got Sonos. So these are 2 he must be in, or that he's stalking. So this is Sonos. I know we've looked at this a couple of times, so it keeps going down is his comment. But he still likes it. Still going down. Okay, so, pretty clearly we got an impulse. Oh, geez, look at that range from 6 to 46. Still in log, just FYI. Okay, so we're going to do, this is nice. Look at that nice triangle. Okay, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, there's one where the 4 is, I mean, it's not like this doesn't happen. 1, 2, 3, much bigger 4 and a tiny little 5. right? It's not like a count like that doesn't happen, right? In the context of what we were just looking at with his last one on near, right? Those little, it happens. I guess I have to pull it down like that. Right? They're not all going to be perfectly symmetrical 1, 2, 3, 4. They're not all going to do that. Many do. When you get that, right, that's a gift from the market, right? Because you don't have any trouble identifying what it is. I mean, this, if you're just looking at the swing structure, it looks like a 3. But can you work the subdivision to get it to play? Well, so here. Right. So again, this is welcome to trading, right? We got to look at that and go, is that right? Is that well, fuck, the 4 to the 2 doesn't look great, but is it an impulse? 4 to 46, is that corrective? Probably not, right? Putting into, did we get a new all-time high? Shit, we got really close, right? That's impulsive. So again, can you simplify in your mind's eye? What should you see? I've got a swing. I've got an internal retracement, and what are we at? We're just past the 50%. Okay. What's the dominant algo in the market? Period. Bar none. Right there. All right. Let's dig into what he's got here. So we're gonna go A, B, C to a W. I'm going to go A, B, C into an X. Looks like I got the A is in, the B is in, and we're seeking the Y, right, to get that 2 done, right? So kind of a complex 2. Let's go to the 4 so we can see in there a little bit. This is nice work. 1, 2, 3, 4. There it is again, right? This is interesting, right? So there it is again. Tiny little 1, 2. Oh shit! What did I just do there? There we go. A little baby 1, 2, 3, 4, big ripping 5. So do you see it again? I mean, this is a good habit to get into. So you just get used to seeing, God, what do these things look like? Because you kind of lose it in all the candles. What are we really talking about there? Okay, so just the more you do it, you'll say, okay, I've seen that before. W, X, A, B. We gotta finish with a 5. 1, 2, 3. Oh man, something. Earnings, right? Okay. So earnings disappoint. 3. That looks like a triangle. 4. Coming down for the 5. Well, they did not like the earnings. Okay, so look what we're coming towards. Oh, let's do it. Do it that way, right? Just so you can see them, right? So I just use those colors so you can spot them. Coming into the golden zone. Okay, hold up. All right, if I come into the golden zone, what am I going to have? All right, the exact same thing in the last chart, right? I'm going to have an algo. Well, number one, I know an algo is going to participate here. It doesn't mean it's a guaranteed winner, right? It's never what I'm saying. I just know an algo is going to participate here. If I can get that. The only thing he didn't do here was tee you up with the monster potential here that's actually sitting right in front of your face. Now, is Sonos going to do this? Well, based on the last quarter, right? A lot of people don't think so. But we can't. You can't. You're either a technician or you're not. Now, you don't want to be oblivious to the earnings, but when that lands in that golden zone, if you get a reaction off of that, does the software care about their earnings? No. What's the technician's first assumption? Right? All the fundamentals that can be known at any moment in time are reflected in that price right there. Right? That's all the fundamental knowledge you need. Because everything that everyone can know suggests that the fair price for Sonos is $15.78. So you don't have to obsess about the fundamentals because it's reflected in the price. Where's value? Well, value was too high prior to the earnings. Maybe at 13, it's just about right. Well, let's see. Do traders say, well, that's low enough? Okay. Do I get a reaction coming out? Just like he drew it the last time. Do I get a little enough to take a trade? Earnings be damned. If I get that, I'm in. Right there. That's what's waiting right there. Right, if we can get it, right there it is. Now, of course, I can do the exact same thing. Right, so as many times as I can get 80% odds, I want every one of those. if I can get it. Now, I'm not anticipating that every one of these is going to be a winner, right? In fact, you should anticipate the opposite. But if it sets up, you can't participate unless you're willing to pull the trigger. You can't be afraid of it. It's got to be, okay, I can take that trade. What's my risk reward? It's not, again, don't set yourself up so that you can get knocked out. Even if you're into 786, there's 17 to 1. And, well, let's just stay consistent with what would be a third there. There's 8 to 1. If we're going to get a third, oh shit, we might get it here, right? So if we're going to get a 1-2, boy, the count would just be right on, spot on. Now we don't have this yet. Sure looks like it's a contender to be coming as we come in and hitting this. Now, what is that? That is potential, right? Just potential support, right? Prior resistance, right? Resist, resist, resist. Finally, the breakout. Now we're coming back, right, as we test it. Does it look like it's done there? Well, it really doesn't, does it? Right? It looks like it's 3, 4. Boy, we're not far. What do we got? We got $2 to go to get to the golden zone. You don't need to sit down here with a limit order. Let's see the reaction. We have an order block down here. Oh, we probably got something. Who did the break of structure? Oh, fuck. Let's see. So this didn't do it. So it'd probably be right here. So you got a nice confluence of just structural potential support. You got the last little down that gave you the, no, here's the break of structure right here. All right, so what was, God damn it, fuck, that's an annoying feature of TradingView. Come here. All right, so there's the break of structure that happened through a gap up. So here's the last down before we got the break of structure. So here's your demand zone. Boy, there's a whole lot of confluence pointing to this location right here. So just like the other one, if I got a little reaction here, that's not a bad option play. Now you're going to need to pay for time, right? So you don't get the time decay to eat you up. If you don't want to be a buyer just of the underlying asset, if you want to trade with an option, you're going to, boy, you're going to have to allocate some funds to that because we're out here on a daily looking for that. You're going to have to buy time, right? So I might just buy the underlying in that case, right? Because it's just going to be too expensive. What you're going to have to invest, you're going to have to buy a damn near a leap, right? To get enough time to hold that thing for it to play out. So the other thought, if you got here, you could sell a put spread, right? Depending on how ambitious you were. So you want to be really ambitious, buy the underlying, sell a put spread, right? And then so you're creating kind of a double. That's like you're doubling the risk. But if you got 80% odds, right, you might take a swing there. Because if it goes sideways, right, the time decay in the put spread here will work for you. So you're offset a little bit there. Now your risk though is if it breaks this pivot, you got to get out. You can't say, well, let's see what happens. You get out, right? There has to be a hard point where you automatically, you don't even think about it. It can't be, well, let's see, maybe. No. There's got to be a number, a point where you say, no, I'm wrong. Out. Now I reevaluate, but for this trade, I accept that I'm wrong. I'm out. Right? Because if you start doing this shit, this is the number one mistake, right? If anyone who writes me is like, man, I'm having trouble, I'm not making money, I guarantee you that's what they're doing, right? I had to give it a little more room and a little more room and a little more room, and then you're out of money. All right, that's really two really nice ones, Fred. Appreciate that. Oh, 8th and T. All right, what do we got? What the KBA? Okay, so let's see what we got there. KBA. Crane. God damn, where do you come up with these? Okay. God, this looks like one you've given us before because I recognize the chart. Crane shares Bocera. Oh, wow. God, I think you've given us this before, right? Because this looks so familiar. It could just be that your work is so consistent. Okay, so this is interesting. So, well, all right. So do you see what he's doing here? That fucked up the count a little bit because you were hoping for the impulse here. So he's adapting to what the market is offering. So you were, of course, right? If you were in this or you're trading it, you're hoping for 3, 4, 5, right? That's what you're hoping for. Market doesn't cooperate. So rather than try and turn it into some bastardized diag, what's the next possible count? 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, okay, so you got to think about that just a little bit because that you can't do that quite reflexively, right? So the market's going to have to prove that, because think about what that's saying. If we're gonna follow more typical, right? And nothing says we have to have typical. Oh, let's see. Let's take this across here. Okay, so if this is 1, 2, 1, 2, and this is the next one, right? Which the market is forcing him into that, right? I know he didn't want to, but here's the 1, 2 that he's proposing. Okay, so here would be the 3, 4. Oh, here we'll just use that. Well, that looks about right. So you'd have this 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just do something like that. Okay, so where you can get a little problematic with that is that if that's the 3, that means my 1, 2 is going to be this. I know you guys already see it, right? 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, is that a big bong load off the hopium pipe? Maybe. Right, to suggest that the 1, 2. So it's just think about it for a second. If it got up here, would you be thinking 1, 2, 3? What you'd want, you'd be looking to find a way to make that the 1 of the larger degree, or this is some sort of, oh fuck, can we even have some? Is there another way to count this? You really wouldn't want this to be a 1, 2, 1, 2 with the size of that 1. Just out of curiosity, why did we stop here? That may very well be why. Right on that pivot. All right, why do we stop here? Right, could be there's a supply zone here. But you see the problem there, Ethan, right? It becomes like, oh, that's the 3. Could you even do it? You'd probably have to kind of squish it in there. 1, 2, you'd be trying to dig it out of that to get your 5 there, right? So this could become the 2 at the larger degree, which, okay, that would be, if that happens, that's a high-class problem. Oh, my 1's too small for the massive rip I got in the 3rd. Oh, no, what will I do? You'll smile all the way to the bank is what you'll do, because that would be a very high-class problem to have. But it's an interesting setup. You really look at this as, okay, it's base, right? That's why I do this, right? Because I want you to just look at it a little bit differently. Okay, basing. Oh, this is very Wyckofffian. Here's the rip. We're back to test. Now, what are we testing here? Shit, I think I just erased this. See, the break there is, you would have liked to have seen that hold, right? From the dominant to the dominant. It's too much for the break to try and think, oh, it's just a stop run. There's absolutely nothing here to suggest not taking that right there, because look at the risk reward. No reason why, if it's going to fall further into the basing range, why write it down, right? You got a very low risk trade right here. And here, look at this. What's our risk reward there? Right, 37 to 1. Right, remember the idea. We want to sell. We want to enter the market as close to where we're wrong as we possibly can. Now, if it does that, you can't be like, okay, if it does this, and then we start again. Now, you might at that point go, okay, I'm going to wait. Oh, shit, I'm on a 3-day here. So I'm going to wait for that first little confirm that I'm coming off of the low with a motive. That's what you'd want, right? If it's going to break. Because here's the reason you take it now is because you got an algo there. Fuck, let's go to daily. Gets a little skinny, right, with an ETF like this. But ETF or not, that's a double bottom in the golden zone. If you're an ETF trader, boy, God, I mean, really, that's about as little risk as you could possibly put onto something like that. So, okay, slow down, though. All right, let's not forget our friend. Would we not have that? Now, if that holds, if that holds, does it not have 80% odds? It sure does. You're going to have to give that a little more room. 1, 2. Here, there's a wick break, but we don't close below, so it's still active. Still live, 1, 2. It came down in a 3, so you got a nice little A, B, C to bring you in. Oh, that's mighty tight, right? We damn near overlapped, right? So the one hard rule, that shit, you could actually do this right here because you can't go one tick below that low and be a 1, 2. So is that a low risk trade? Yeah. Worth taking? Well, shit, right? If you're looking to park some money, right, and you can be disciplined about the stop, you know, we got there 43 to 1. It's a thought, right? Nice work. Thanks, Ethan. Okay, now I got. All right, back to James X because I asked, right? So he's nice enough, right? He's solid guy. Always, whenever I ask for more content, he always comes up and delivers. So let's see what we got. Okay, so I was asking for any indexes, ETFs, equities. And indexes, here we go. This is a really interesting count. I'm glad to see he's got the same thing I had. Well, let's see, where do I have this? Is it over here? Yeah, I had the same thing, right? So here I'm always looking at the futures, right? He's got the SPX, but look at the ride up here on that median line. I mean, talk about hugging it. It's just beautiful, right? So here he's done the same thing. SPX is going to vary slightly from the futures. Okay, so 1, not hard to spot. Not hard to spot where we are, right? It's not hard. That's not hard. Okay, I'm looking for a 3. Okay, not too hard to figure that one out. Okay, so let's play that forward. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, okay, let's go with that, right? I mean, it's possible you've got it in here, right? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? We do it that way, but this is more bullish this way actually because you're getting another 1, 2 in there. So to go 1, 2, 1, 2, it plays, right? It's certainly valid. So oh shit, let's get you out of there. So we went 1. Just pull these off for a sec so I can follow along. Okay, well let's check that. If this is the 1 and this is the 2. Okay, 2, 6, 1, 8, right? That's an extreme for a 3, but it plays ball. Okay, so we got a 3. Now, what would also be interesting is how this looks. I think this is past. A little past the 175, but in that pocket, in that range where you're looking for it. Now, we burn the 80%. Right? Remember, you only get this once. Right? There's the 80% gets burned there. Right? Now, once that's happened, you don't have another 80% that we get there. So as we retrace here, we're retracing to this 2 here. So here I just do it so I can see it. Okay, right, coming right to the 38, and you can see it's just market structure here, right? You can see all of that high volume as we come in right there. So here, market after this rally, oh, you know, the SPX is probably going to drift lower while the market waits for, you know, Fed speak out of Jackson Hole. That's just how the market works, right? Where they live and die off of every fart and burp and belch that comes out of the Fed. Okay, so, all right, so we've got a little ABC coming in here for this. Are we going to hold there? Well, okay, I wouldn't assume that we wouldn't. I mean, if it were going to hold, this is a pretty good place to do it, right? You got just a massive high volume node. You've had this big rip. Now, because what you'd expect is while the market waits for Jackson Hole, right, we might go sideways here. So you might get a little chop here while the market is trying to decide, are we going to get the clearance from the Fed? Because God knows we got to get it from the Fed. Can we get that started? Well, one of the Thursday, Friday, I think it's Thursday, Friday of this week, because we've got them in we'll start to get speeches and things from the Fed. So this is pretty reasonable count. You'd like to see the RSI now turning over. You want to get it, right? You want to get momentum when it's climbing, not falling. So I'd look for that to, oh shit, you could get a 50 out of that. Oh, what do I got here? This, I'd be watching for that, right? So the market likes to avoid the low volume nodes here because size, they don't want to enter the market there. They want to do it where they can bury it, right? So this would be ideal. Any of these would be ideal. They don't want to disrupt the market if size steps in there. So that little window, and often what you'll see, the market will come down right to the edge of it before it goes into a low volume. Now, if it breaks, it'll go to the next place where size can get put on. That's good. It's good looking setup. Well, here's what makes it hard. Or the market's coming down. Do you want to be a buyer here? I'd wait for the one myself, right, for a swing trade, rather than. I mean, if you're going to take a trade, it's a little late in the day now. I don't know that I'd put one on right now, because my guess is we go sideways until we get, and it is that, a guess. I'm using that word deliberately. Oh, fuck, hang on. Okay, that's my watch ringing. Okay, so is it enough to buy it here? I wouldn't going into Jackson Hole myself, right? I'd wait. Let's see what kind of reaction, how the market reacts to whatever they say. And then if it starts, okay, get that first little jolt, right? There'll be a reaction again. We seem to be in that all news is good news now. So this is what I'd be waiting for. And then you could buy calls right there. Let the RSI come back. You want to get it across the moving average. It's a little abrupt, right? It feels a little bit. Now, could it be? Yeah. I mean, it's not terrible. I mean, it's there, right there. There it is, right there. So you go on a 15-minute. I mean, you're working on that 5. Probably let today go by, right? I don't think I'd put that on today. Like, what happens overnight? Are we going to have follow through on the downside? It's just me. I'd want to see this complete, and then I'd want to see the initial push up to come back, and I'd take the first retrace, and I'd buy some calls there, looking for that to start up. Because remember, we're not going for the top. We're going for the 3. We're going for the top of the 5th of the 3rd, right? Which is implying, right, that we're going to, higher prices, right? That this is the 3. This may end up being the 4. May end up, right? We got a nice ABC that gets us there. 5 down, 3 up, 5 down. Got a nice ABC, right? But oh no, what about inflation? What about the recession? Right? Remember, the stock market forever and ever and ever, this will never change. Always wants to go up. Always. So if it's natural, it has to be a reason it's not going up, right? So any day, right, as you guys know, we trade a lot of futures, and particularly in the S&P, it's like holding an inflated ball underwater, right? You can hold it for so long, but it wants to go up just naturally, right? It just wants to go up. So it needs to be strong reason for it not to go up, because its natural drift will always be higher. Right? It's just the nature of the markets, and how call it American greed. Okay, that's good stuff there. Thanks for that, James. Okay, Monty, you're up, because next up I've got some. These are now some of you guys are regulars on the Wednesday live stream. But he speaks to this. There's so much nuance that he has in here that I'm prefer to have him talk through it, because this is really, he's really created his own technical approach here. So I'm going to let him. Did I put up the first? No, I put up the wrong one. Right?
Do you want to do James's first or mine? So I kind of get an idea.
Oh, do I have one from James?
Yeah. At the very bottom.
I do. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see it. It's down lower. Okay, so let me do James, and then because I think that'll be the last one. Then we'll finish with yours. Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't see it. Okay, so I got James is giving me DXY top right. All right, now, we don't, no, of course, oh, fuck. Shit, I did it again. I got to copy it. Okay, we're going top right for a 6-hour look at it. All right, so let's pop this back. So, of course, channel master that he is, we've got a giant channel. Shit, I'm going to have to go to the daily to get that. Okay, double zigzag with a truncation, right? So that's the abnormal, which is why he notes that. But that's quite a rip coming off of that, isn't it? All right, course, the further the dollar's going, this could be part of what's keeping Bitcoin stagnant. Shit, where are we in this count? Oh, so this was, so we have a flat here, so I can see that. So we got an A, B, C into a flat here, and then we go, we hold that, so this has to be 1, 2. Oh, how are we doing this? So here's your truncation here of this leg. I see it. Okay, so you were thinking that we were doing 1, 2 to finish the C of the double zigzag. So we had an A, B, C. So we're finishing the C, but we truncate right there, right? So that's, well, you can kind of understand why, right? Just looking left, right? So here, obviously, this is where the market felt like, okay, we're low enough where buyers say, okay, I'll buy that. And then you get your classic, okay, I'm not so sure. Wait a minute, let's just double check that. Is it okay? Any supply going to come in? Nope, we're good. Okay. That's what they're doing right there. All right, let's dig in there. So this is the truncation. I see it. All right, so let's label it. So you can see what he was after here. Didn't happen. So that would leave, so if we're going to truncate here, it's a last resort, and I know he knows that. But that may be all you've got, because this would have to be A, B, C, W, X. Oh, that's a skinny X, isn't it? A, B, C. C. Not the start of the run. Not the start of the run. I don't know if I follow you here on why it's not the start of the run.
He said that's the double ZZ. The truncation is to the right.
Okay, so it's here. Oy. So you, that doesn't look right. So he's going there. So it can't be that way. So it's got to be. They're doing it this way. Oh fuck, man! I'm gonna have to see your chart. I don't know what you were thinking there. This looks like A triangle B. Maybe you want A, B, C. Okay, there. That's got to be that way. So this has got to be A, B, W, X. It's got to be there. Okay, so that's got to be what he was thinking. A, B, C. Okay, so if that's it, then we start here 1. Right, we get a running flat. Right, so that's nice work. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Note the little wedge. Right, this is such a common pattern. Right, there's the little wedge that finishes that, almost a channel. A, B, C into the 2. 1, 2. Oh man, here we go. Okay, so say it out loud. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Right, there's a certain number of 1, 2s where you start to go, oh, wait a minute. Do I have to reconsider this? Okay, well let's look at it. If this is 1, 2, well let's do a little measuring, right? So when you find yourself going, fuck, is that 7 1, 2s in a row? Well, just start doing a little measuring. That's what I would do, right? In the first case, okay, if that's my 2, well let's draw it over. Okay, so where's my high? I don't have anything at the high probability zone. Do I have an impulse that would get me there? Yeah. Maybe, but you don't have a 2, right? So if you were thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into a 1 here, which looks like he's considering that. Why not there, James? Why are we not having a 1 there? Because the 2's too small? Hang on a second. If this is the 1, do we have an overlap there? No, we don't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into a 1. Oh, so he does have it, right? So he's giving me multiple counts, right? So there's an alternate. So right off the bat, I like this better because I'm reducing the number of 1, 2s. So there's a 1, there's a 2. Now, is that a 3, 4? Oh, I see what you're thinking. So this certainly looks like a 4. So what is it connected to? Do we get an overlap there? It looks like we might. So maybe it's just he's already worked through this and I haven't. So 1, 2. Okay, I'm guessing that's not going to work because it looks like 3 may be the shortest. Nope, it's long enough. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Fuck. I think Monty has that on tape somewhere. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fuck. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boy, this is tricky. Okay, sometimes I look at this and I go, okay, wait a minute. Are we making this too hard on ourselves? Okay, what can we all agree on? This is impulsive. It's impulsive. Do we have a top? Well, what would make you think you had a top, right? So do we have any divergence with any of the momentum? Oh, it doesn't look like it. We got a little divergence here up at the top, but nothing in a oh, let's put up Elliott Wave oscillator. What's EWO, I think it is. Oh, this one will work. Okay, so let's see how that works. Okay, it looks like, so no signs of a 5, right? So we're getting 3, 3, 3, right? So I'm sure that's influencing here. So this peak is higher than this peak, higher than this peak, higher than this peak. So there's nothing here to suggest we got a top in yet. But I just look at that and I go, I want to simplify this. If I want to do something like this, can I get that done there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And of course, that's going to take some time to work through that. You know, can I simplify the thing, right? Because sometimes you're doing more damage to your own psyche because you're trying to get every little swing. Can I simplify the thing? I'd probably approach it that way. Not that his work isn't spot on and this isn't a valid count. It's just it's 7 1-2s in a row. So that's a lot, right? So I'd be looking for that. Now, what do we need to get a bearings on this? We need something deeper on the retracement so we can say, okay, now I see. Well, fuck, you get my drift, right? Now I can see what I got here. I need something to if we go up again, you're kind of still in the same problem. I know I have a ripping impulse here, but I don't have a lot of conviction in where are the deepest retracements. Well, so then I'd start looking at it like that. Okay, is this one of them? Sure looks like this is another one. These are the deepest retracements I'm getting. Oh shit. I would personally, if I'm thinking about trading this or the implications of this, I'd start measuring each of one of these because these look like my deepest retracement. So if I'm trying to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, now I'm not taking time to go that subdivision because I'll bore you guys to death if I get into that. I could lose 20, 30 minutes here. This would be. So I'll tell you what this would be. So for anyone who has an interest in the dollar or the ramifications of the dollar continuing to go higher, come up with your own count. See what you can come up with there. I mean, this is a great effort here, but again, how many ones? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 in a row. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, so maybe it's 5 in a row. So we're getting, I can't tell because we have multiple counts here. I need a correction. So think of it this way. Is this a place to be a buyer? You know, we're from the low, we're a mighty long way. All right, so you're probably late to be buying up here as we approach the high. Now, who's going to buy there? All right, likely breakout traders will jump on that for the idea, and certainly it's possible we're going to go higher because per this Elliott count, we got a long way to go still. Right, per James's count, we're just looking for a 3 up here to top the 3, which would be okay. Let's see if we can put the whole thing together. So we'd be looking at 1, 2. Jesus, is it that 3, 4, 5? It's not that crazy. Really. So do you want to be a buyer here? Well, if you learn nothing else from me, let it be that you don't buy that. I'm not saying it's not going higher, but that's not where you want to enter. Let it do that. 3, 4, 5. Do something like that. A breakout is a sucker play. Yes, they work. I think it's 80%. I think it's 80% of breakouts fail. Oh, shit, I feel like I'm overdoing the 80%, but I just Another very well-known educator references that on a very regular basis. 80% of breakouts fail. So again, it's like, why would you not take an 80% setup? And if 80% of breakouts fail, why are you trading breakouts? Do they work? Do they work sometimes, right? Would you call that a breakout? Well, yes, we're breaking a former high, but you're kind of in the context of a breakout would be more typically something like this. We retrace and you're taking that break there rather than something that's, what are we, 2 years, 3 years apart? Is it a breakout? Well, you're breaking the old high. So technically, yeah. But do you want to enter long here when we're this far into this move? Oh, fuck. Let's just see. Do we have anything above us? I don't know that we do. Nope, we don't. Right, so we're at, are we at all-time highs? Let's go to a weekly. No, we're not. I didn't think we were. Okay, so I'm just going to hide that for a second. Why are we stopping up here? Okay, well, let's just remember, software will never lose track of this. You and I will. Will the software? No. Right, because it's just a piece of software. It's not some guy going, geez, I got to remember to check the weekly on the dollar index, right? This has been in place since. You think I'm kidding? This has been in place since 1985. I think that you'd end up with a perfect pull here, wouldn't you, Monty? I'm not sure you would, right? So we don't get target. Now, I don't think they had this algorithm in the market as a piece of software back then, but if it's applied now, that's still very valid. So, oh shit. So where would be the obvious target here? So it would be a double top. Now, talk about really a bad spot to enter. Like if I could bring up the worst possible place to enter the market on the chart, it would be right there, right as we're hitting the old highs. Are we going that high? When do we do that? 2000? 2000.
Would you have the pull there though if it was a B, or would you have the orthodox 5 or the A?
So here I'm just going from dominant to dominant, right? So Elliott aside, right? But I noticed this, and I think that plays into one of these plays into a perfect pull, if I'm not mistaken. I could have that wrong. Because you spot it here. You got to do that one. Okay, so with this here, so all we're doing is just pulling from here's this. Well, okay, so let's back up. Right, we didn't make the target here. It's too far for a front run. So we double bottom down here. So with that said, what's the algorithm going to do? Right, it's just going to go here. Right, because I have a new low, I have a new high, or pardon me, I have a dominant high. I get a new low. Well, but that makes it interesting. So if we're coming back to that, even though it hit it on a lower pivot, right? It's that when it was there, it was at the 50. It was in between. So here now, as we come up to that, we got a ways to go. But could we go there? Sure, of course, right? Fuck, that's a long way to go, right? That's a long way to go. So, but if it's going to do it, don't buy it. Just don't enter here. Wait, right? Because they'll test it. Right? That's a substantial pivot. There'll be stops there. Bears will have shorted there. There'll be stops there. They're gonna. What's retail going to do? Oh shit! Breakout new high. It will. Well, I shouldn't say it. Odds are very high that will get tested. Let's test it. Oh, okay. It's all good. Now we can get there. All right, let me bring up the other two. So I do the first one. This is from Monte Crypto's work. You guys that are regulars on Wednesday, where he had some projections. You take it.
Yeah, I would bring up the second one first. The one that I did in February. I know we've got a delay, so I'll wait till it's up there. Are you muted, by the way?
Whoops, I am. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So yeah. So this one.
This is the one you want first?
Yeah.
Okay.
The one with looked along some shit. So basically, this has just got two pitchforks on it. from much higher up. It's a weekly chart. And then I've got perfect pull, Monty pull, and a regular pull on it.
What are you saying? I think you're on the wrong one. So
Yeah, go back to the other one. Sorry.
okay,
So
sorry. That's where I started you. Okay, there we go.
okay. Yeah, I'll wait till it switches over, but
Yeah, I know we have a delay.
yeah, so basically I just went weekly chart and then started doing pulls. I do have levels on there as well. So that's where you've got the blue, the red, those are all yearly levels. The blue are yearly, 6-month are the red ones. But you basically see this is February. We're now basically at the 109, and that was look to long some shit, right? 75% out of cash. Above that is now the 111 to 113 area. Long your longs. This is where, for me, I want to be at zero cash, right? So this is where risk assets are basically getting hammered. And now I'm thinking, all right, buy here. It could squeeze higher. And that's where I've got, of course, 116, 117, borrow cash to long shit, right? This was just, it's funny. I mean, I just, as a joke, put this up here. Not necessarily thinking it's going to get there, but this is my plan if we were to get there. So, Sam, if you're still around, if you'll get to
switch over.
I sent you actually 2 more in DMs.
Okay, hang on.
And go to that first one that's zoomed out a little bit.
Yep, got it.
And so this one is going to have the speed fans put on it. And these are basically, if you've been in the Discord before, you've seen me do these. It's basically when I do the low to high pull, the golden zone, which is the gold, that's going to be the very first big resistance. And we're coming up on it. We're through the smaller speed fan. Once it pops up, there it is. All right, so you'll see we're through the very first small one, I guess. But the top of that big one with the red circle and the MZ, which is the money zone, also has a 6-month and a 3-month level. The 3-month level is the yellow manila color, I guess. And all of these are at the very top of this. And that's where I think we're going to hit the level. And so there you go, zoomed in a little bit more. So that's,
you want me to go to the other one? You want me to go to the other one?
You can go to the smaller one now,
Smaller
where you just were
okay. Yeah, I just was getting
the bigger red circle. But this is where I think we've come into a huge level of resistance. Obviously, we've been going straight up. If you count from the low, I mean, it almost looks like a completed 5, right? We had the sideways 4, the deep 2 with the almost looks like a flat, and now we're coming up on some very, very big resistance. And that's, I do have the 116 a little higher, and that's just if we just squeeze everything, right? So the dollar just keeps pushing. Everyone's like, holy shit, like I'm getting hammered. And that's where I basically says, borrow cash to long some shit. But this is where I think, Bitcoin could have that one last push down.
That's soon, what I'm thinking.
When we're getting up there in the 112 area, then I think we have some relief across everything. Whether basically, I guess if it goes between 111 and stays above, I guess 107, and it kind of just consolidates in that area, we could push to that 116, 119, really, I guess, but that's the old highs, and that would be insane.
Yeah.
Especially with all the inflation talks, but the strong dollar.
Well, why are they buying the dollar, right? Because we're raising interest rates. So money travel flows to where it's treated best. So if interest rates are going to keep going up, that's why people are buying dollars.
Yeah. Let me take off all this and send you one more, just because it's
sure
basically Monty pulls, which are funny how they react sometimes.
If you have it, send it to me.
Yeah, I'm sending it right now. All right. So look at these algo tags here. So it's basically if you have on weekly, the weekly line chart is where I got these pulls. And
I know you have a delay. It comes up in a second.
Yeah. The tag, there's a double tag at 70.80. which was the bottom of 2008.
It's up. It's just there. Yeah, here it comes. There you go.
Yeah, so there you go. So see, this is what these were based off of the weekly line chart, and the big one, you can see the bigger algo target was hit perfectly, and you overlay that with the candle chart from the 121 high to 80.39 low was another perfect tag. And since then, it's been a straight rip, and that's where now we've got the 7418, the MZ coming up right above us at 110.5, and that's where we really start to have some troubles in my mind. Obviously, it's the low of that weekly down or to the left. So I think soon we get some relief, but right now it's just straight pushing. And so levels wise, this is where I'm thinking it was going to stop, back in February. So now it's interesting to see if it's actually going to do it.
Sweet.
That's all I've got, really. I can explain a little bit more.
Okay, yeah. If you come in on Wednesdays, right, he goes through the details of how he's constructed this. Really is his own unique approach to geometry. I think we got everybody covered. Do we?
Yeah. Let me check. Let's see if we got any tips. I don't think we did, but
yeah. Okay. What was? I see.
We did have one person sitting here saying, "Wow, do you have Tourette's?" And I'm like, "No, it just cusses."
Do I have Tourette's? Do I have Tourette's? I don't think so. What was he referring to? My frustration?
Yeah, like if you don't click on something, like fuck shit, fuck.
That does sound.
Like, you have Tourette's?
Well, we shouldn't make fun of people with Tourette's. That's just me.
Well, I was just like, well, hey, if that's not what you like, and then I sent him a link to Joel Osteen. I said, if you want the clean stuff, here you go.
Yeah. This is au naturel, right? I mean,
we say that it's not suitable for kids. So.
Yeah, exactly. I know we have had people say that, right? God, I had this on with my kids in the background. Well, read the disclaimer. Okay, all right. I think we got everybody covered. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. If you're the geometry that he's doing is very unique, but you're gonna have to participate on a Wednesday live stream to get clued into that. The Elliott counts. I mean, we had a lot of interesting stuff today. Some counts that some of them we feel a little forced, right? So my advice is never take a trade off of a count that you don't have complete clarity on, at least in your own mind, because most often what happens when you do that, right? You're nervous, right? So kind of the fun of trading gets removed because you're in a stress bomb because oh shit, that didn't look so great when it started. Maybe I shouldn't have. Now you're just in kind of you're outside of the zone, as Mark Douglas would put it. You're not in that trader's zone where you see it, you react, you recognize what you're looking at. You're comfortable with the risk reward. It's when you're kind of iffy and you feel like I'm trading because I'm supposed to be trading. That's when you typically get yourself in trouble. So if you don't love it, wait. Don't force a trade. There's so many choices. Good God, right? I mean, whether you're crypto only or you spread across multiple assets. I mean, if you were crypto only, God, what is the count now? 16,000 alts? Are we that high? I mean, if you stayed in the top 20, I mean, I'm pretty sure you're gonna be able to find a setup that you like at some degree. And Elliott Wave always, and forever will be better 60 minutes and higher. So if you're trying to grind out a count on a 15-minute, be prepared to be wrong a lot, and relabel often. Let's see. Is that Kyle? Kai TT giving me an ES? Oh, maybe not. Maybe she's just noting that it matches. Okay, we'll wrap it up here. All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate all the participants. Thanks to the guys that hung out with us. Oh, I see all the regs. There's Allied Master Computer. Oh, good to see him, right? I always like his input. Okay, guys, we'll wrap it up here. We're back on Wednesday.
Kai TT did have an ES, I guess.
Did I miss it? Did I miss it?
It's underneath Will Smith, the Erixis's ABC thing. So maybe.
Oh shit! Here, let me see. Oh shit!
It's 1:31. Give it 5 minutes, real quick, and we'll.
Okay, I'll do it real quick. Fuck, where'd it go? Did you guys just lose the feed? I just fucked something up. Yeah, it's real quick.
Did you press cancel? ended already?
No, I didn't.
No, I think it's good.
Did it end? I just got I hit the link. No, we should still be good here. Okay, right. So this is okay. This let's do this real quick. This is another read on it and perfectly valid. It looks like he spent some time on this too. So okay, so if we're gonna, all right. Well, you left me hanging here. What do we call it? So we're completed impulse. We're starting the correction. A, B, C, that works. W, A, B, C, X, that works. A, B, C, Y. This is very reasonable. Now it looks like we got a slight break, but we did get a close above, right? So we'd have to kill that one. Well, where are we pulling from there? Technically, you've lost the algo that was there, but you have not lost this one. All right, so that's what the algorithm is going to do, right? So if we get a close below beyond, right, it's out, but it will just go back a pivot, and now, right, so now you're in between, so you would anticipate if they're going to enter, right, it would be up here. So AB, this is clear. So this is hard to, so if we want AB, you can see it's there, so it looks like you can do it this way. I'm going to check that. So as long as 3 is not the shortest there, I think we're okay. Yeah, we're okay. All right, so this would be the X. Right? It's actually a very, very valid count, right? A, B. Let's get those in, get that in yellow so we can see it. Okay, so we do. Well, this count has some advantages here. So if you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're back to that kind of funky, the 4 is way bigger than the 2, although I don't think we overlap there. Yeah, we do actually. Okay, so you'd have to call this a leading diag, which to call it a 1, 2, then you'd have to go A, B, C into the 3, 4. So all of that is a potential, right? But this is a very valid alternate, right? So if what comes out of Jackson Hole is that they're again, all that matters is not what they say, but how the market reacts to it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're coming down for the Z. This is just as valid. Now look, if we pull out to that, so look at his, so he's using a speed fan here, a fib fan here, to come into potential, right? I mean, he's teed it all up for you. That's good work, guy. Very, very nice work. All right, I'm glad we caught this one. So it's just another read on this because it's just as valid as the alternate, right? It may be more valid because there's a little bit of a, this is a little iffy as a full-blown impulse, right? If you're going to try and trade it as 1, 2, 1, 2, the internal 3 is a little shaky in terms of swing structure. So the Y, Z, and then I'm sure he's got it here somewhere. Or maybe I'm not seeing it. All right, so we'd be coming in here at this old structure between the 50 and the golden zone here. Now, are we going to go much lower than that? 3,200? Wouldn't be surprising. So you'd have nice setup here. So first, I guess he's giving us 2 shorts. One thought is you're taking the short here, right? And the other is you're waiting down here, so you're taking the ride down and the ride back up. That's, I'm going to get this one on your watch list. That's one to, what's the reaction, right? So if they come out and the market reacts negatively, then I'd have this as your primary. If we come down here, now, of course, right, same thing as always, right? Okay, give me the 1, give me the 2, right? Now, okay, there we go. All right, let's wrap it there. Great. I'm glad we caught that, Kai TT. Very, very nice work, right? Good alternate so that people aren't just thinking bullish only. Okay, with that, we'll wrap it. You guys have a good one, and don't miss Wednesday for Monte Crypto's action. We'll be back. I'll be back.